Hi, my name is Phil Cass. I'm from EPCC, talking about tokenized authentication for research computing. Some team, it's all from EPCC, Kieran Leakes, who's the team lead, Jordan Bell and myself, who are the sysadmins developing the back-end services, and I've got James Richings, Roy Wilson, and Dave Mackay, who are developing example workflows for this. So what are we doing? We believe that using tokenized authentication, we can enable novel workflows and capability. So traditional HPC login nodes are shared user services run by service admins. Users have limited permissions. It's unsafe to give them privileged access because the login nodes have privileged visibility over all the user data. Users may want to run services this model doesn't support. So users may need root because they need to install service software, they need to run web services on privileged ports, or frankly, the software they're trying to use may be really difficult to install without root because it's not been developed with that model in mind. Users may want to access our services outside of an environment the service owners control. So if the users are running VMs on private cloud, they have root whether they want it or not, they just don't have choice there. So the solution is to provide these services by means of service tokens instead of user credentials. Our goals are to demonstrate provision of research computing services like file systems, schedulers, via tokenized authentication across multiple infrastructures, capture the experiences, challenges and risks, and present recommendations for the roadmap regarding tokenized authentication and potentially for future activities. So we're trying to make some of our services associated with our service system available outside of the service login nodes. Services are tier 2 CPU-based system that we've just had the announcement of an expansion of from UKI this morning. Our Lustre work file system is going to be exported over an NFS-V4 gateway using Kerberos authentication, and our Slurm scheduler will be made available via the Slurm REST API, Slurm REST daemon. Two services we're not specifically mentioning is we already have a publicly available S3 gateway to data storage at EPCC. It works, it's boring in the complementary sense. There's no technical work here, it's just part of our systems. And also the home directories for Cirrus are served by SFFS, and we've already got automation to present project-specific tokens for access to these within our own private cloud. So this is a service we already have. So we're going to be testing these services once we have them against various different systems. First of all, EPCC runs the Edinburgh International Data Facility, the IDF. It's, among other things, we've got our own cloud platform. We run VMs there. They're using our same authentication as Cirrus. It's the same user IDs, same users, same SSH feeds, things like that. So that will be quite a nice, the simplest environment to test in because it has the most similarity. There's also the University of Edinburgh's Eleanor VM service. This is aligned with Edinburgh University user IDs, not with the EPCC ones, with the national services. So we have to worry about challenges, especially with file systems of, hang on, this thing's expecting certain UIDs, we're presenting on others, do we need some kind of mapping, etc., etc. And finally, we have the Somerville facility, which, there we go. So, yeah, Somerville, the data intensive astronomy platform, again, it has its own usernames because it's aligned with SDSC's facilities, not with EPCC specifically. It's also a source of very specific real-world use cases that production versions of our services might solve. So what we're going to do is, with the setup complete, the integration test, we're going to explore a variety of workflows. As I said, on Somerville, they really want HPC capability. They have a very well-tested pipeline, and they have explicit needs for the kind of services Cirrus can offer them. On our virtual machines, there could be a much wider number of potential workflows, things just as simple as we want a graphical environment in order to do data analysis or development, and it's up to people developing custom workflows, websites where HPCs triggered by user input. And throughout this, we're going to be capturing core experiences and challenges we have. Yeah, and the final activity will be the project report, which includes our experiences with the tokenized technology used, key challenges and the risks, considerations of the difficulties in exposing such services on a cross-site basis, trust and security implications, especially for some of the file system type implementations, recommendations for the roadmap regarding tokenized authentication, and recommendations for future work necessary to progress potential cross-site integration using tokenized authentication.